Hello, my name is Christopher Bebo, and it's a privilege to come your way again today. We will still continue the discussion on Joseph, and the emphasis today will be on Joseph, the staying power. Let me quickly add that over time we have had discussions about Joseph, and for every discussion, there is a new insight coming in. And I want to tell you that as long as we keep getting those insights, it's a privilege and a responsibility to talk about those insights, to bring them to you so that you can also learn from those things. So there really is no rushing to exhaust it because God's words are new every morning. And I believe that there is something for me to learn and then for you to learn. And as we learn those things, our lives can become better for it. So, Joseph, the staying power. Now, you will recall that Joseph was only 17 years old when he was sold into slavery. That meant he was still a teenager. In fact, that means he was just a teenager when the challenges of life actually came. He was very much under his father's care. Because when you read the book of Genesis 37, verse 13, when his brethren had gone to feed the flock at Shechem, and his father had sent him to go and check on his brothers, in spite of giving him direction of where they were, when he got there, if you read verse 15 to 16 of Genesis 37, he was still confused as to where they were until someone told him, oh, they had gone elsewhere. That would tell you that what he was still a homeboy. He was still very, very naive. And then you will also recall that his mother, Rachel, died while giving birth to his younger brother, Benjamin. So the vacuum of losing his mother at such a young age was there. Adding to that now is the pain of being separated from his family by his own brothers. So the question is, how was Joseph able to survive all of this? How was he able to sustain his conviction, his faith in God, in spite of betrayal, in spite of false accusation and imprisonment, in spite of being forgotten by the people he helped, by some of the people he helped, that is the butler and the baker? And to remember that all of this, and to think rather that all of this happened in a strange land where no one cared about whether he believed in God or does not believe in God, is nothing but what? A source of a source of it should make us reason. It's nothing but what? But a food for thought that in a strange land where nobody cared whether he believed in God or does not believe in God, yet he was able to maintain this conviction, is actually a food for thought. So, in answering the question, how was Joseph able to sustain his conviction in the midst of all that happened in a strange land? A scripture pops up in my mind, and that's the book of Genesis, chapter 18, verse 19. Genesis 18, verse 19. The King James Version, there, God said he knew Abraham, that Abraham was going to command his household after him to what? To obey the commandment of God and to live by the principles of God. God said, I knew Abraham. And now, if you read that same version, that same Genesis 18 now, in the message edition, it says God was saying, I've settled on him as they want to train his children and the future family to observe God's way of life, live kindly and generously, so that God can complete in Abraham that which he had promised. Hence, Joseph was a beneficiary of methodical teachings, teachings about God, teachings about his covenants, teachings about his righteousness, teachings about waiting on God for the fulfillment of promises in spite of the delay, teachings about the fact that life revolves around seed time and harvest time, teaching about responsibility not just for yourself but everyone around you, teaching about trusting God and believing in God and hoping in God. So those were the teachings about God that was passed from the patriarch himself down to Isaac, Joseph's great grandfather, then to Jacob, Joseph's grandfather, then to what? To Israel, Joseph's father. So these were the teachings that Joseph received. And those teachings now became the foundation for his life. They became the ideologies on which he established his life. So teaching is building. It is investing. It is actually the foundation of which every other thing stays. Therefore, to create an enviable future, not just for yourself, but for your children, for your organization, you should invest in teaching. Invest in knowledge today, because time and resources deployed in teaching is not actually spent, it's actually an investment that has the biggest ROI, the biggest return on investment. So I encourage you, teach. God bless you.